2025. There are approximately 50 or fewer Jews left in Yemen. Some 200 Yemeni Jews were brought to Israel by the Jewish agency c 2016. 326, according to a 2020 estimate, as few as 26 Jews remain in Yemen. 327, however, in 2022 it was estimated that only one Yemeni Jew remained, according to a United Nations report about the treatment of religious minorities in conflict zones. However, there are reportedly a handful of hidden Jews who have converted to Islam but secretly continue to practice Judaism. 328. Education. Literacy rate of the population aged 15 or older, 1995-2015. By UNESCO Institute of Statistics, the adult literacy rate in 2010 was 64%. 329. The government has committed to reduce illiteracy to less than 10% by 2025. 330. Although the government provides for universal, compulsory, free education for children ages 6 through 15, the U.S. Department of State reports that compulsory attendance is not enforced. The government developed the National Basic Education Development Strategy in 2003 that aimed at providing education to 95% of children between the ages of 6 and 14 years, and also at decreasing the gap between males and females in urban and rural areas. 331. A 7-year project to improve gender equity and the quality and efficiency of secondary education, focusing on girls in rural areas, was approved by the World Bank in March 2008. Following this, Yemen has increased its education spending from 5% of GDP in 1995 to 10% in 2005. 172, according to the Webometrics ranking of world universities. The top-ranking universities in the country are the Yemeni University of Science and Technology, 6,532 ND worldwide, Al-Argaf University, 8,930 TH, and Sinar University, 11043 Road. 332. Yemen was ranked 131st in the Global Innovation Index in 2021, down from 129th in 2019. 333, 334, 335, 336. Health. A Yemeni doctor examines an infant in a USAID-sponsored healthcare clinic. Despite the significant progress the government has made to expand and improve its healthcare system over the past decade, the system remains severely underdeveloped. Total expenditures on healthcare in 2002 constituted 3.7% of GDP. 337. In that same year, the per capita expenditure for healthcare was very low, as compared with other Middle Eastern countries, $58 according to United Nations statistics and $23 according to the World Health Organization. According to the World Bank, the number of doctors rose by an average of more than 7% between 1995 and 2000, but as of 2004, there were still only 3 doctors per 10,000 persons. In 2003, Yemen had only 0.6 hospital beds available per 1,000 persons. 337. Healthcare services are particularly scarce in rural areas. Only 25% of rural areas are covered by health services, as compared with 80% of urban areas. Emergency services, such as ambulance service and blood banks, are non-existent. 337. Culture. The National Museum in Sana'a, a typical Yemeni house dance in Sadr, northwestern Yemen. Media. Radio broadcasting in Yemen began in the 1940s. 338. After unification in 1990, The government reformed its corporations and founded some additional radio stations that broadcast locally. However, it drew back after 1994, due to destroyed infrastructure resulting from the 1994 Civil War. Television is the most significant media platform. Given the low literacy rate in the country, television is the main source of news. There are 6 free-to-air channels currently headquartered in Yemen, of which 4 are state-owned. 339. The Yemeni film industry is in its early stages. Only 8 Yemeni films have been released as of 2023. Theatre. Yemeni theatre dates to the early 20th century. Both amateur and professional, government-sponsored, theatre troupes perform in the country's major urban centers. Many significant poets and authors like Ali Ahmed B.A. Khather, Muhammad al-Sharafi, and Wajdi al-Adil have written dramatic works, poems, novels, and short stories by Yemeni authors like Mohammed Abdulwali and Abdulaziz al-Makaleh have also been adapted for the stage. There have been Yemeni productions of plays by Arab authors such as Tawfiq al-Hakim and Saadullah Wanous, and by Western authors, including Shakespeare, Pirandello, Brecht, and Tennessee Williams. Historically speaking, Aden is the cradle of Yemeni theatre. In recent decades, Sana'a has hosted numerous theatre festivals, often in conjunction with World Theatre Day. Sport. Football is the most popular sport. The Yemen Football Association is a member of FIFA and AFC. The Yemeni national football team participates internationally. The country also hosts many football clubs. They compete in the national and international leagues. Yemen's mountains provide many opportunities for outdoor sports, such as biking, rock climbing, trekking, hiking, and other more challenging sports, including mountain climbing. Mountain climbing and hiking tours to the Sarawak Mountains, including peaks of 3,000 m, 9,800 feet, and above, particularly that of Nabi Shuaib, 234, 237, are seasonally organized by local and international alpine agencies. The coastal areas and Socotra provide many opportunities for water sports, such as surfing, bodyboarding, sailing, swimming, and scuba diving. Socotra is home to some of the best surfing destinations in the world. Camel jumping is a traditional sport that is becoming increasingly popular among the Zaranic tribe on the East Coast. Camels are placed side to side and victory goes to the competitor who leaps, from a running start, over the most camels. Tribesmen, women may not compete, tuck their ropes around their waists for freedom of movement while running and leaping. 340. Yemen's biggest sports event was hosting the 20th Arabian Gulf Cup in Aden and Abiyan in 2010. Yemen was defeated in the first 3 matches of the tournament. 341. World Heritage Sites. High-rise architecture at Shaiban Wadi Hadramaut among its natural and cultural attractions are 4 World Heritage Sites. 342. 343. The old walled city of Shaiban in Wadi Hadramaut, inscribed by UNESCO in 1982, 2 years after Yemen joined the World Heritage Committee, is nicknamed Manhattan of the Desert because of its skyscrapers. Surrounded by a fortified wall made of mud and straw, the 16th century city is one of the oldest examples of urban planning based on the principle of vertical construction. 344. The old city of Sana'a, at an altitude of more than 2,100 meters, 7,000 feet, has been inhabited for over 2.5 millennia, and was inscribed in 1986. Sana'a became a major Islamic center in the 7th century, and the 103 mosques, 14 hammams, traditional bath houses, and more than 6,000 houses that survive all date from before the 11th century. 345. Close to the Red Sea coast, The historic town of Zabid, inscribed in 1993, was Yemen's capital from the 13th to the 15th century, and is an archaeological and historical site. It played an important role for many centuries because of its university, which was a center of learning for the whole Arab and Islamic world. 346. The latest addition to Yemen's list of World Heritage Sites is the Socotra Archipelago. Mentioned by Marco Polo in the 13th century, this remote and isolated archipelago consists of 4 islands and 2 rocky islets delineating the southern limit of the Gulf of Aden. The site has a rich biodiversity. Nowhere else in fjord do 37% of Socotra's 825 plants, 90% of its reptiles and 95% of its snails occur. It is home to 192 bird species, 253 species of coral, 730 species of coastal fish, and 300 species of crab and lobster. 347, as well as dragon's blood tree, Dracaena cinnameri. 348. The cultural heritage of Socotra includes the unique Socotri language. See also. Flag. Yemen Portalican. Countries portal list of Yemen-related topics. Outline of Yemen. Index of Yemen-related articles. Notes. The area of Yemen including the area ceded by Saudi Arabia is 550.
Good.
Yemen.
The video splits in like 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. So I had to look for some links, but the video splits now. I had to look for some links. We had 1 minute. So, but I will not read more because it's too late. I will look for some links and write it down here, but not too many because I like to read about Israel, Jews and Jerusalem. I don't like to read about Yemen the next many days, or Saudi Arabia, or that take many weeks to do that.